or wherever. Oh, that's okay, Natalie.
Yeah,
We'll
Junie, if you wouldn't mind just starting from the top, that'd be great.
You're so funny. Well, it's okay because we're going to do this with everybody again. So basically, that's it. As you can see, so this is Laulima. This is my Laulima site. And you can see it has the ILE tutorial. And what's really great about this is you see where it says home, sources, information, techniques, find, select, cite, all of those things. These are all live. You can click into them. It's not like, oh, it's a screenshot. And when you click onto it, it opens up a new window. This actually, when you click on it, it will go to search tools, or it will go to sources, it will go to techniques. So it's not like, you know, so many times you send your students, oh, just go to the library. And we think it's easy for them, but it's just one more step. And I don't know about you guys, but I know for some students, that one step is just one step too many. You know how we tell them, you know, we tell everybody, try to make as least clicks as possible, because we don't want our students to have to click here and then go here and then do this. And then by that time, we've lost 50%, you know. So if it's in your Laulima site and all they have to do is click on that, you know, whatever it is on the menu, whatever you decide to name it, it makes it so much easier. And we feel that we'll keep a lot more students. And like for the information literacy exam, they'll access it that much easier because it's right there in Laulima. They have no excuse. I mean, they have some excuses, but they have no excuse. Anyway, I went really fast. Does anyone have any questions? And Natalie, please jump in. Anyone?
I do have a question.
Oh, sure.
So I do have one of these like resource page for my students with the library, but I also I asked them to use, for example, the documentaries. What is the name of that you guys have, like a database with documentaries? Oh God,
like
it could be Canopy.
Canopy, yes. Will it be possible to have like, I don't know, like to put, like to edit my page to include the Canopy on the resources or something like that?
You know, what would be really great is if you stayed one more session, because Ralph will be doing a session on linking to articles, ebooks, videos in the library databases. So you can link to it very quickly. I'm not sure if Canopy, you can actually embed it. Ralph, are you here? Because if Ralph's here, he could answer it. But if not, Paula, I would ask, you know, the next session, because the next session is really good, because so many times, right, you want to link to a particular article, you want to link to maybe a particular ebook or a video, and like it's like, oh, we can't just grab the URL, you have to actually put something before that URL so that your students can link to it, especially since most of our students are off campus now. Yeah, so no, you definitely can, Paula, you definitely can.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, so that's it. You see your friendly librarians, we're here to help you. I am just going to stop sharing. I'm going to stop sharing. There are a couple of things that we can do right now. Is what I'd like to do is for you to actually sign in to your Laulima. I know it's kind of hard, but you can just hear us, right? As you sign in, you don't have to actually see us. Some of you already have online guides, and it would be so easy to, we'll go through this again, how to easily just, you know, take the URL to that online guide and then stick it in there. So if maybe we can all, should I just do this? Maybe I'll share my screen and I'll actually, okay, let me do this. Okay, share. Okay, and okay, so I'm just, everybody can see my screen, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to log into Laulima. And let's just walk through that. And if you want to, you can follow me. Okay. Okay, so what I did is I went into this particular, this is sort of the kind of sandbox that I have that I use for different kinds of library things. And so remember, we said go to site info. And then when you go to site info, you basically want to manage tools. And you want to scroll down. Sorry, I know if I scroll too fast, it makes people dizzy. And you want to scroll all the way down to web content. And then if I selected web content again, I believe, and hit continue, it allows me to do something again. So maybe this time, let me see, I'm going to go to guides and I'm going to pick a guide by Natalie. Oh, here we go. Let's do, I don't know, campus sustainability. That sounds great. So I'm going to take, you see this URL? So it's guides.leeward.hawaii.edu/sustainability. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to put here, instead of web content, I'm going to put sustainability. And then I'm going to put in that. And I'm going to hit continue. And then I'm going to hit finish because that's basically what I did. And it should, when I refresh my screen, there it is, sustainability. And I'm going to click on sustainability. And you see, this is it. So I'll go to sustainability committee. And we haven't gotten out of Laulima, and I can go to news and events. It's all right there. And if I don't like it there, remember I said, oh, maybe I want it somewhere else. So what I do is I go back to site info and tool order. And then I go, I want this actually to be up here. And then I hit save. And now it's further up. So hopefully students can actually take a look at it. I mean, it's almost faster to do it than for me to say anything. Did everybody get that?
Jenny, I had a quick question.
Sure, sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you're kind
what's
of
the advantage of
breaking
through
up,
the web
Annika.
tools? Give me 1 second. Is that better?
Yes, much better.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So what's the advantage of doing this through web tools versus through lessons, like adding a lessons page and embedding it? I'm just curious.
You know, I personally don't think there's much difference. With lessons, you can actually, I think lessons is more, it's more robust because you can actually add things to lessons, right? You can add like maybe a little quiz, like, so you can tell your students, hey, go through, you know, the sustainability page that I have there for you. And then at the bottom, you can put maybe a little quiz or something, right? With lessons. So I think lessons is more kind of, you can do more things with it. Whereas the web tools, it's just basically having that there for them. You know, I think you could do it either way. It just depends on what you want to do. Like for most things like the ILE, the information literacy exam, just put it in the web tools, click on it. I mean, students can click on it. They can get to the tutorial. They can get to the, links to get to the exam, and it's easy peasy. However, if you want to do something like say, oh, I have some questions, like, let me just share screen again. And let me go to, let's see, I do have some, I thought I had some lessons. Is this one? I'm thinking that this is a lesson. But see how I have more links to other things.
Right. Yeah, I use lessons really extensively.
Right. So I think you can do it the same way, Annika. It's just that I've used the web tools for the online guides.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah. So just lots of different options.
Yeah, different options. Laulima is really getting, a lot more things that you can use for your students. And especially now, given the fact that so many of our students only access through Laulima, it seems to work real well. So any other questions? Did I already say this? Natalie, did I already say this? If you do want us to make an online guide for you specifically for your class, depending on what it is, like, so there's a easy way for the students to access maybe all the videos, like Paula, you like certain videos. So there will be an online guide that gives you all the different databases that you like to use, maybe, the videos that you like to use. So it's all there in one place, and they're accessing it through the library. We can do that for you.
I just dropped that in the chat because I think it's a good example. We have so many resources in the library, but it can be really overwhelming for students. I mean, even just the landing page of our website, we tried to cram so much information there. And so a course specific guide is a great way if you want to make sure that your students have direct access to, like, maybe your OER text or, different journals, different specific articles or videos, like Paula was saying. So I think it's a great example for her Botany 101 class, traditional uses of Hawaiian plants. I put in the link. And then I think both Brandy and Eileen either had questions or comments.
I did just a small thing. I was thinking with the information literacy, I have that link in the menu on the side, and I also put some information in the lessons so that they know that this is important, and I increase the amount of points they can get for it and stuff. But I also added a forum this time where they're supposed to go through the information literacy tutorial and then comment on what they learned from it and share that with each other. So hopefully I'll get some kind of response. So that's how I tried to integrate it with lessons. I wanted to ask Natalie about that mysterious remark that she's doing a big overhaul of ILE right now. What's happening?
I know. I was just telling Junie this morning, I'm kind of chickening out because I did, both summer sessions, we had English 100 students enrolled in the ILE. So I didn't want to tinker with anything. So I had a test site. So instead of, for people who maybe have never even heard of ILE, it's really this partnership we have with Language Arts and specifically English 100. It's a 25 multiple choice question exam. And I've broken it into 6 sections. That's something I've done in recent years. It's these different frames of information literacy that it's built around. And it's a requirement for English 100 students. And it's a great way to connect them to the library, resources, services. And it's also a good way to get them to actually practice, finding articles and reading different types of citations and figuring out what it is. So it's a good exercise, but it confuses students, right? Because it's like, is this part of my English class? Is this a library thing? Why am I doing this? So I've really tried to merge the two. And so before it was this tutorial, which we've shown you, and we've shown you a way to embed it into your course site. But now what I've done is I've taken the content of the tutorial and I've broken it into 6 modules in the Laulima ILE site. And so it's all in one place instead of a tutorial and a thing. And so there's 6 mini quizzes instead of 1 exam. And so the reason I'm getting cold feet is because I'm going to confuse now not only our fabulous students, but our fabulous teachers. And but other things too, like something, this is so silly, but I'm literally working on it this week. And I thought, can I still call it the ILE? Because now it's a series of quizzes instead of an exam. And so I'm just like, I want to cry a little because it's been a lot of work. But but anyway, I'm going to come and visit on Wednesday afternoon, our writing, right, Brandy? And so so I can show you, and maybe what I'm thinking of doing, I'm not going to totally chicken out, but maybe I can get some folks who want to pilot this fall, and I can run both. I can run the exam as it's been for the last many semesters, 4 or 5 semesters. I think it's been about the same. And then I can pilot the 6 module quiz thing. So it's the same content. You know, I've done a revision for MLA 9th edition. That was another big thing this summer. But it just looks a little different. Oh, but you know what? I should have led Eileen with the good news, which is I'm going to send you folks all the scores, because when I do the quizzes, I can put students in with their CRN and I can separate them out easily. And so that way students don't have to generate their certificate of completion and submit that. I'll just be submitting scores like we used to do, you know, years ago. So that's one of the benefits of doing it this way as well. Thank you.
Well, it sounds like a good idea to pilot it. I mean, the syllabus is already set, and you know, it would be kind of weird to change at this point, but for next semester, it sounds really good. Thanks.
Brandy?
I just had a really practical note for Annika, who's asking about lessons versus web content. Because I had summer break. I have been embedding the tutorial. I haven't been embedding my the lib guides, which is silly of me, but the one benefit I like of putting it in lessons is that you can click on very easily, open in a new window, and there it can be its own tab. Versus if it's in web content, they have to work in that Laulima window, which for most people is fine, but sometimes they need it to be a little bit bigger, or if they're working on various devices, that might be something that's a little bit easier. So if you are liking lessons anyway, then just go ahead and stick with that.
Okay.
I thought there was maybe an option where you could, if you embed it as a tool, where you could have it still say open in a new window if you want, like you have to edit the tool. But I could be wrong. I might be just thinking in particular stuff.
I think you're correct, Erica. I think you can configure it to open in a new tab.
I wish
know-
I got to do this last semester because all my classes were working on this big final project with the Learning Resource Center. Hopefully you guys will see the fruition of it soon, but they were all designing a big panoramic for the windows that face it's going to be a window vinyl design. So they had a lot of research to do.
Amazing.
And I didn't think to actually embed it like that. Like I put it, you know, it's all linked in all the project description and stuff like that, but it might've been more helpful to do it this way. So anyway, I feel like I should have thought of that.
Well, if no one has any questions, like I said, if you want your own guide, please, 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 we'd be happy to create something for you. Pretty simple. I know like many people have already know this, like Pete, you already know this. What are you doing here? Thank you for being here. And if there's any questions at all, please, 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 you're friendly librarians. We're here for you. We're really excited because in less than a week, we're going to have students already, and it's really exciting to think that hopefully we'll get a little bit more traffic in the library. If you need anything for your classes, please let us know because we're always here for you. Whether it's a face-to-face, how many of you guys are teaching any hybrid or face-to-face classes? Wow, awesome. Awesome. If you need anything at all from us, please, we're here. And we love seeing, you know, this summer was the first time, I think almost since COVID, that I actually did a session with real students. I mean, not fake ones, but actually in a classroom. And it felt so good. It felt so good. And, you know, seeing the actual students and having, you know, reacting off of the students versus an empty camera or, you know, a black box or something. And people actually called afterwards. So it was a good thing. So please think of us. And let me see, I think we have until 9:45. So we have a little bit more than 5 minutes where we'll have our next session, which is, I think I mentioned, linking to articles, ebooks, and videos in the library databases. So from Ralph, and it's basically, you know, for all of those resources that you use all the time. Paula, I know you use the videos, you like those. So if you wanted to get the specific, you know, way to link to those, Ralph's your man. Anyway, thank you for coming, and hopefully we'll see you in person, maybe sometime. Eileen's shaking her head. Okay, but hopefully we'll see most of you.
You're beautiful on Zoom too.
Oh, you're too kind, but thank you.
Oh, Judy, I saw you in a magazine last week.
Oh, was it
Island Health or something?
oh,
like
yes,
that?
yes.
Yeah.
So one of our former instructors, Courtney Takabayashi, she's a friend, and I guess anytime she's got some, she's like needs to have some librarian thing, she asks. So yeah, it was I think it was on books, a book review. So yes. And those books I highly recommend, and we do have some of them actually in our library. So if you get a chance, please
I
come
actually
by.
got one of the ones that you recommended on the article. I'm like, yes. And
Which one
really
was
liked
it?
It
Which
was
one was it?
this from the same author of like happy, like this person that goes like through anxiety, but she's really funny.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
She's really good. The first time I read one of her books, I'm going, she's really crazy, but in a good way. Yes.
So I do just have one last plug for this presentation. You know, like we're showing you how cool it is to embed a course guide or the ILE tutorial, but really if all you're doing is putting a link to maybe the library's homepage, it's just a way to show students, you know, maybe they don't come to campus, or maybe they're not here beyond, you know, once a week or something like that, just to direct link them to them. You know, from the website, it can be really challenging and overwhelming. Again, not just the library website, the Leeward website, even more so, right? To find these resources. And so it would just be an incredibly helpful way to kind of put it in the way of the students, you know, so that they can find these helpful resources. You know, it's like they're with you for a semester, maybe 2, but we're here for their whole Leeward journey and really beyond, as long as they need, you know, a little bit of information. So thank you for attending this session. I really appreciate it. If you have questions, and like Junie says, we're going to send you those step by step so you didn't have to memorize it or get it all down in notes. If you want us to add to your course guide or anything like that, we'd be happy to. But we hope you enjoy the rest of the sessions. We hope to see you in the next linking to articles, ebooks, and videos with Ralph in about 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Mahalo, everyone. I'm gonna stop the recording.